YouTubers, this is me again. I know I've been out of the loop the last couple weeks, and I do want to apologize for that. A lot of stuff's been going on with my family, personal stuff, and things like that. As you notice, I'm kind of in a different area. That's because I've moved to a different area. So a lot of things have been going on the last couple weeks, so that's kind of why I've been kind of out of the loop at this point. But yeah, that's what's... I've been kind of having a lot of things going on. I'll go into more detail if I have a chance in another video. Okay, but another thing I want to mention is that I'm going to be changing the format of my videos minorly to give them a more structured look to them. I'm basically going to separate them into 3 parts. And the first part is going to be, of course, the introduction. It's going to be like 1 or 2 minutes long. I might just, I've seen a couple of videos where, like, they spend like a few seconds in the beginning of the video explaining what the video is going to be about. And then they do an intro clip that says their name on it or something like that. And then they get on with the video. I'm thinking about doing something similar to that. But then again, I might not. But it's going to be a little bit more structured into a 3-tier thing, like the introduction. The second part is going to be the reading itself. And then the third part is going to be the interpretation. Because I've noticed a lot of you guys are kind of saying my videos are a little bit long. And I do realize that I do ramble on a bit. So they do tend to ramble on and become very long. So I'm kind of putting the structure in there so you guys can maybe even skip certain parts of the videos so that you can actually get what you want out of this video. So like if you just want the reading and not the interpretation, or if you just want the interpretation and not the reading and the introduction. So I'm trying to be a little bit flexible and see how that works out. So this is going to be interesting. So yeah, so that's the introduction to this video. So alright, moving on to the reading itself. I'm going to be going back to the original format for a bit until I'm a little bit more settled. So what we're doing is a 4 card reading of the first card is going to be the overall week. The second card is going to be the beginning of the week, and then the third card reading is going to be the middle of the week, and the fourth card is going to be the end of the week, or into the weekend, or whatever you want to interpret it as. So that's what we're going to do. So this first section is going to be just the reading itself, showing what the cards are, and then in the next video, but next section, I'm going to actually do the interpretation. Okay? So, quick. The first card, the overall for the week, is Kutinaku, the Knight of Swords. And here you can get a really good picture. Look at this. That's the first card. That's your overall week. And the next card, or the beginning of your week, is going to be the Empress or Hera. Okay. And then the middle of the week is going to be the Rabbit, the Ten of Pentacles, and then the end of the week is going to be the Hawk or the Four of Swords. Okay, so that's the reading itself. So let's get on to the interpretation. Okay. And overall for this week, there's going to be, they're all pretty much they will all upright cards. And how I view upright cards is that they're working on a more external stage rather than internal, as it would be if they were reversed. So you're doing a lot of things in the outside world this week. You're overall, there's a lot of you've got half of it's swords, half of it's material. basically you're putting thought into action. Maybe overall, it's going to be pretty much all about your thoughts or your knowledge or your thinking. Messages coming in from other people or you sending out messages. This looks more like it's messages coming in. And he's standing here with his sword and it's ready. He's got it out and he's dressed for the weather. He's waiting on these messages. So maybe overall during this week it's all about receiving messages, listening to messages. Well, not necessarily about listening to the messages, but receiving them, getting them together, getting into the position to take a look at them. Maybe you've got an essay. You have an essay that you've just finished and you've just written it. You need to read it over. You're getting it finished so that you can read it over, or you're not necessarily the one writing the essay. Other people are writing their essays for you to correct or things of that nature. And the first card of your week is the Empress, the Hera. She's a big card. She's an emperor. She's the Empress. I'm very silly right now, but she's the goddess of fidelity, marriage. I believe also childbirth. She's also in charge with very they're kind of abstract terms, but they're very fundamental terms. Like you're laying the foundations for things. Laying the foundations for you're building up the ground, because the next card you've got is the Ten of Pentacles, the rabbit, and rabbits are fertile creatures, and they're all about fertility. You've got the ground to stand on, and now you're running with it, and you've got the fertility down. You're growing things. Your things are coming to fruition. You've laid very good foundations, and now you need to build on those. Hold on to your message that you're carrying around with you. Bring your message into reality. Things of that nature. What are these? Dandelions. There's dandelions in this card, and it's a weed in most people's point of view, but they've got really great properties to them that you can make tea out of them. You can do a lot of things with dandelions, and most people just get rid of them and throw them away and waste them. Maybe you've got the ground, you've laid the groundwork, you got fertile ground, and the dandelions are growing up, and you're picking up the dandelions and you're using them for what they need to be used for. Maybe other people would leave them lying around, but you pick them up and you make tea out of them. You take the time to nourish them. Dandelions can be very nourishing when it comes to, I believe, iron. If you have iron deficiencies, dandelions are very, very good for that. Don't quote me on this, but that's my knowledge, my personal knowledge. Iron is found in dandelion root and dandelion leaves and things like that. Iron deficiencies, iron's in the blood, things like that. If you're anemic, they're good for that. And then the end of your week is Four of Swords, the hawk. A four, a very stable card. At the end of the week, you've these almost look like roots that they're tied into. Like you've gathered the roots, and you're surveying what you've gathered. You've gathered it up in the second card, the dandelion roots. You've gathered them up, and you're surveying them, and you're storing them for better use later. You're drawing them out, and the hawk has great eyesight. Eyes of a hawk is a hawkeye. You've got great eyesight but it's not necessarily eyesight in close. Eyesight in the far away. You can see distance. and how they could be used later on. Maybe, yes, that's my cat. My cat loves me. Anyway, cute cat. But anyway, the hawk sees out far, not necessarily close to you. Not necessarily in detail, but when it's far up in the sky, you can see really well. So you're planning ahead. You've got the groundwork set in the Empress card, and you've nourished it, and then you're growing it and collecting it, and now you're storing it for your use, better use later. And maybe you're receiving, I don't know, prescriptions or yes, I know my cat isn't very friendly. I don't want to push him away because I'm ignoring him all day. But sit down. Okay, sit down. Of course not. You don't want to sit down. Okay. Yes, I love my cat. I really do. But you gathered the stuff together, but now you've received messages. Messages maybe telling you to gather these things up. Maybe for their uses. Prescriptions come to mind. And dandelions come to mind because tea is a medicinal thing. You've gathered the roots together and you're drying them out and you're creating tea out of them for medicinal use. That's kind of what this whole week is about. It's about taking things that, yes, he's only got one eye. He's an adorable cat. And I bet I'll get dozens of people just wanting to see more of my cat. Basically, it's the same thing that was coming into mind. Putting your thoughts into action, putting what you've stored behind or your knowledge, and planting the seeds with your knowledge and harvesting what you know. And this is kind of a straightforward reading in a way. Because it's like, okay, nourish the ground, harvest the ground. It's also another message that's coming through is take what you can get from the ground, because it only there's only this little bit of ground that you've got. So you've got this. You've been given this gift. You've been given these messages. Use them. Read them. Take them into account. Don't just throw the dandelions out just because they are dandelions and they're weeds. They don't look nice. I actually personally like dandelions, but don't just view them as weeds that need to be removed from your perfect ground. The seeds for the dandelions were put there for a reason, and they need to be harvested correctly and used correctly, and things like that. That's the basic formula for this reading right now. So thanks for watching, and hope to see you guys later, and I hope to get this a little bit more structured later on. Maybe get some actual signage up and say, but this is one section, this is another. Okay. Have a good week, and harvest what you can out of this week from what you've been given. Alright, bye.